Extremely privileged to welcome our director, Director Sir Shri Dr. Vikas Nath and Chairman Sir Shri Arya Jindal Sir and Chairman, Vice Chairman Sir Shri Amrit Jindal Sir are not present here, but I would like to thank them for providing the opportunity to organize this event. Faculty members and students in today's eminent lecture series on the and our esteemed guest Dr. Makhija ma'am. And on the basically today's eminent lecture series on the topic environmental issues and challenges, Indian and global perspectives. Gita International Business School was established in the year 2004. It is affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Delhi, and approved by All India Council for Technical Education, Ministry of HRD, Government of India for Technical Courses and Bar Council of India for the law courses. The institute conducts various courses, namely MBA, MBA in International Business, BBA, BBA LLB and BA LLB. GIPS has been graded A by the National Assessment and Accreditation Council in the second cycle. It is an ISO 9001 to 2008 certified institute. The institute has been rated as A+ by State Fee Regulatory Committee, a fee committee of Government of NCT of Delhi and GGSIPU University, and rated highest grading A by Joint Inspection Committee of Government of NCT of Delhi and GGSIPU University. GIPS has been rated grade A by Academic Audit Cell of GGSIP University continuously from past 5 years. Also, GIPS has been ranked number 1 by Times of India B School Survey 2022. At GIPS, thrust is on overall personality development of students so that they can face the challenges in their competitive professional life with a value-based approach for sustainable environment. Environmental issues and challenges is a global issue. Global warming emerged from industrial nations who use fossil fuels to enrich themselves. The most devastating threat is the planet's coral reefs. It is habitat of thousands of species. Planetary heating of 1.5 degrees Celsius will destroy 70 and 90% of coral reefs. At 2 degrees Celsius, 99% will be destroyed. We will not be able to sustain it for our future generation. Apart from that, the change in climate also leads to species loss, and loss for small islands inhabitant, it's raising a serious problems and several health hazards in general. Moreover, poor management of waste acts spark to these. Gita International Business School is organizing a lecture as a part of MA London University. At COP27, the issue has been raised on building of coal, gas and oil which causes serious climate change. This optimism came from India's call for fossil fuel burning to phase down, though not phasing out. It should be noted. But the proposal has not led to major follow-ups and the issue has not yet been resolved. Given this backdrop, our institute is organizing eminent lecture series on this subject. The object of today's event are, first, to make students understand the global environment problems. Second, to promote awareness for habitat-related environmental issues. Third, to help the students acquire a set of values for environmental protection. Fourth, to help the students to analyze pollutants and issues of environmental degradation and policies and implications related to it. And to address these issues, we have a very eminent personality with us, Dr. Makhija ma'am. We welcome Dr. Makhija ma'am. Now I would request yes ma'am. Now I would like to say a few words about Makhija ma'am. Here are a few words about Dr. Makhija ma'am. Ma'am has succeeded in the most difficult community projects like behavioral change, waste management, wet waste composting, social responsibility, water conservation, and etc. Her initiatives are related to free biodegradable sanitary napkin supply to lesser privileged women, senior citizens welfare program, and value-based program for community children. Jantantra Mahotsav initiative to encourage citizens to vote. She has won various awards for her public work. Why Waste Wednesday Foundation, in association with MCD, has recently started Project Vikalp, under which we borrow a cloth bag aimed at encouraging people to use cloth bag and reduce the plastic bags. Over 300 Vikalp stalls have been started so far in 200 markets in Delhi. Navjeevan Vihar has been receiving awards in Swachhta Sarvekshan. Dr. Makhija has been instrumental in achieving 100% waste segregation at source in Navjeevan Vihar and maintaining the same for last 2.5 years now. Her efforts have led to a big behavioral change in Navjeevan Vihar. Residents in regards to segregation of waste, carrying their cloth bags, home composting, saving water and various other environmental and social issues. She has been holding meetings and webinars to motivate and encourage various stakeholders like education institutions, RWAs, MTAs, clubs, religious institutions and etc. to take up waste management on priority. Now I would like to request Dr. Sheetal ma'am to please welcome our honorable guest Dr. Ruby Makhija with sapling. Thank you, ma'am. Now, without taking much of your time, may I now request our resource person, Dr. Ruby Makhija ma'am, kindly enlighten our students with her vast knowledge. Please, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Audible? First of all, I'm very sorry to have kept you all waiting for almost an hour, right? So that also I'm going to address in my today's talk. So we want the talk to be boring or to be interesting? Boring? I want to know who wants it to be boring. Okay. So it's a very technical issue, all right, environment. I'll try and make it as simple as possible so that what part you all need to imbibe. You'll get all the figures and facts from Google Sheets also. Okay, you could just go search online and you'll get loads of data as far as the technical aspects are concerned. So I will not go much into the details of technical aspects. I'm grateful to Geeta Ratan Institute of Geeta Ratan International Business School for having me over, and it's been a long association. I guess almost a year old that I have. Is there somebody who's done an internship with me right now? No. Okay, fine. So let's come back to the topic. So how many of you intend to go out of India? Let's make it more interactive. You could. Why so low? Okay. What about the rest? What about the rest? You wish to stay in India? Yeah. Any reasons? No, seriously. Yeah. This is something which is going to make the session very interactive. So the ones who wish to go out, can you tell me what are the reasons why you want to go out? Yes? Anything? Yeah. Okay, you have a family out. What? Anybody else who doesn't have a family but still wishes to go out? Yeah, please.
I want to pursue my goals.
Okay, so when you wish to pursue your goals, great. No, I mean that's a great thought. But don't you think what stops you from pursuing your goals in your country? We are seeing so many multinationals now moving to India. They find this as a place where with a lot of opportunities and really with the manner in which we are growing economically, I think it has more opportunities in India right now than abroad. But still we wish to move abroad. You ask me, I probably, if you given a choice, if things stay like this, I would also want to go and send my kids outside. Anybody can just reflect on it and think, what is it that India doesn't have which the countries abroad have? Anybody? I mean, it's very simple.
Clean environment.
Absolutely, bang on. First thing, cleanliness, sanitation. Anything else? Environment, yeah, that's the topic. Anything else?
Quality of life.
Yes, quality of life, yes.
And better paying capacity.
Right, but you know what? I am told that India paying scales are really shooting heights, crossing some of the developed countries. Anything else? There's one very basic thing which is missing. Can anybody think about it and give me an answer?
Social security.
Okay. Who feels that the systems in India are in place? Yeah? So I think that is something which we all feel that there's no system in India. It takes, I mean, exactly what I said that I'm going to mention. I was an hour late here. I started at before 10 rather, and I reached almost at 12. Within the same city. Do you think how much time, how much fuel, what are the kind of resources, and what is the kind of frustration that we feel when we reach back home after a day's work? And just think about it. Has anybody been traveled abroad for that matter? You have a relative outside, staying outside. Is there a weekend concept in India?
No, ma'am.
What, tell me, what do we have abroad? They don't work on Saturdays and Sundays, and still they enjoy life. They have a full social security system in place whereby even if you retire, like we keep slogging in India to think what is going to happen when I retire. I need a house, I need a place to work, I need my insurances to be there, I need servants here. Have you ever thought about it? They never think about these things because they have an excellent social security system in place outside India, right? Especially considering US and UK and all. You really don't have to hoard so much during your working years when you are young and when you're earning. You really don't have to hoard thinking about what you're going to do when you retire. This is something which we need to work upon in India. But how is it related to the environment? Anybody? Do you know what is environment?
The immediate surroundings.
Can we change the slide? Can something help me with the slide? I think this doesn't seem to be working. Somebody could just go over to the laptop and I'll just ask you to change the slide and just keep on changing the slide. I think. No. The slide changes down. आप उधर से change करते रहिए, no worries. When I'll ask you, please change the slide. So, what is environment? What is environment? So, this is environment. Anything and everything that surrounds you is your environment. Anything and everything, living, non-living, soil, water, air. We only think about environment as soil, water, air. No, it includes people around you. It includes systems around you. It also includes flora and fauna around you. So, environment is everything that surrounds and influences and impacts a human being is called an environment. So that is why when I said you were expecting me to give a technical lecture on air, water, soil pollution, that of course is a part of environment. But apart from that, there's more to the environment than about soil, water, air. Yeah? Next slide, please. So what are the problems? As I said, what are the problems with the environment? What is it that is making our environment go from bad to worse? This is what we talk every day. I mean, environment खराब हो रही है, air pollution हो रहा है, soil हो रहा है. But as I said, even systems will be a part of the environment. And this is the same system which has led to the core elements of environment, soil, water, pollution and all going down. The quality, we all know it, right? I mean, I was told that post Diwali, North Delhi, the AQI shoots up to 900 plus, right? So now those are core environment elements. But how did we reach to this point? Yeah. So the first thing is unregulated growth and development, right? So growth and development is great. You know, you all are young, you are aspirants, you will be looking for jobs tomorrow. So without growth and development, there is no future. But does it have to be unregulated absolutely? Or do we have to have some kind of checks and balances there to see what are the side effects of these growth and development that we are going, the technology, the industrial revolution which has happened? What is the impact of this on the environment? And when we say environment, would also include you as your own self. You also are a part of the same environment. So how is that this growth has affected you? The only thing we need to do here is regulate it. We are not against growth and development or economy or consumerism. It's just that the manner in which it's going on unregulated is what is affecting the environment negatively, right? So we need to keep that factor in mind. And that is what is slightly different from the developing country and the developed country. They still reflect, they have the time, they have this thing on their priority list that we have to sit back and reflect on for the country, and who's going to take ownership for the larger environment? Nobody. Yeah, it's only, I mean, I don't have a percentage wise, but if I still give you a vague number, it's going to be a fraction, decimal point 0.00000, some zeros and then maybe 1 at the end of those zeros, % of people who are thinking about the environment, who are pushing it so hard that, and it's not for us, you know, as I said, I'm already 50, it's going to take me another 10-15 years, I'm still on a track where I'm pushing the change against all odds. So by the time that I can see a little bit of change, I would have led maximum most of my life around that time. So who am I working for? Yeah, my girls probably now, both my daughters are in college, so I can relate very well to how you all people think. What are your priorities? They're pursuing engineering, one in IIT Delhi and the other one in NSIT. So I can see very well that they too plan to move out abroad because they feel that the systems in India are not supportive of a good quality of life, right? It's not about opportunities. It's not about pay scales, it's about quality of life and the systems being in place. Even if I earn 5 lakh, 6 lakh, 10 lakh, there are millionaires sitting in India who are earning like anything. But they still have to commute on the same road, breathe the same air, take in the same water. You don't know what you are being served because as long as it's not visible to our eyes, we refuse to believe. कोविड आएगा, कुछ डेथ्स होंगी, तब पता लगेगा कि ये इम्पैक्ट होता है. But there are things, death is the last thing. You don't even know what is happening to your body. For an example, just for an example, every week, every human being is taking 5 grams of microplastic inside our bodies, every single person, which is about the size of a credit card. Can you visualize a credit card? You are eating one every week. That's environment. And it's about time that you all sit down, reflect on it, and it's you. It's the youth. You know what is the percentage of people in India who are under 35? 66%. So we who I probably am, probably must be in the 10%. We 10% are working so that you 66, 67% people tomorrow have a better life. But can we do it without your contribution? You are the bigger chunk. We are just a minuscule, and of that minuscule, again a very minute fraction is working towards it. Lack of respect. I was just talking to Dr. Makhija. I'll give you one example. In our times, we used to get hit with a ruler on our knuckles, and we used to go back home crying. But believe me, you स्टूडेंट तो स्टूडेंट, किसी पेरेंट ने भी कभी आज तक टीचर को आके कन्फ्रंट करने की कोशिश नहीं की थी. We had so much respect, and the teachers also had, you know, they took children, their students, as their own children. Yeah, so that culture somewhere seems to go missing. You've not seen it, so you can't relate to it much. Go back and ask your parents. They'll tell you. कई बार बोलते हैं हमारा ज़माना था. So, and we probably make fun of it, Mama. You've come from a stone age. आपके टाइम पे तो मोबाइल भी नहीं था. No, our generation is the one which has seen the maximum change. I don't think any other generation has actually seen that. And we can see it. And if you give me one option that you leave all the technology and all the facilities and the amenities and the gadgets, everything, and go back to the same life, I would not take a second to take the decision and go back to that life. Because we had something. Now today you see, I mean, you are walking on the road, you girls, किसी ने कुछ कह दिया, हमारे ज़माने में होता था, हम एक आवाज़ लगाते थे, सब लोग इकट्ठे हो जाते थे. And now today when you go, people will keep watching you, making videos, making it viral, but they will not come out in open to help you anyone. Am I right? You tell me. I'm sure not all of you, but the larger population in Delhi is like that. So we need to bring about that shift in the entire society which has happened in the last 2 decades, has brought it here. Next slide please. Okay, so what are the solutions? Certainly ownership. We all need to take up ownership of our actions, make the right choices and act accordingly, and sit back and reflect as to these are our actions and this is the kind of impact we're going to have on the environment, on the society. So we need to reflect on that. Then respect, of course, has to come back. Respect for everything in the environment, for living beings and for non-living also. We'll play football in the park and we'll just crush the plants there, and we'll do it deliberately, not because we've given a kick, but we get a kick when we pluck 2 or 3 flowers and crush it and check it as to how it feels like. So respect has to come back. Growth has to be regulated. We need to understand what is growth and what is the impact. And I care attitude. Next slide please. Okay, the virtues and the skills which people should have in today's time to kind of make this a reversal effect. Being humane first topmost. Being passionate about what you do, about not just about your job, about your goals, but also passionate about bringing the quality of making the quality of life better. And if it improves for everyone, it certainly is going to improve for you as well. Otherwise, it's not going to happen ever. You keep trying. If you help improve others, you will end up improving your own self. Perseverance, approach and attitude, risk-taking abilities and decision-making. Decision is something which is most important here. Being organized, teamwork and networking. These are the set of skills and virtues which every one of you must possess. Next slide please. Achieving the unachievable. Now how should you act so that whatever you are planning, and this goes out for students of business school especially, how should you act and how should you prepare yourself so that whatever you plan reaches to a logical conclusion? Prioritize, push the environment up in your priority list, analyze the problem. More than you analyze and think about the solution, analyze the problem, strategize, plan, execute, monitor, and after that, once you achieve the goal, don't think that that's the final destination. The cycle has to repeat. It has to go on till the time you have that project in hand. So it has to go, and it holds true for the environment. Next slide, please. So now coming back to the core elements of environment. This was a broad briefing which I gave you on environment and societies, so that you could sensitize yourself more to the core environment elements also. So when we say environment, I've already told you, when we see the global scenario, there's 2 billion tons of waste is being generated across the globe. That's a lot, right? The air, the water, the soil quality is going down with each passing day. It's no hidden fact, except for certain countries which have set very high examples like Bhutan, like the European countries like Norway and Finland. They have done some kind of real exceptional work in the environment sector. You must go back home and read about Bhutan. Bhutan not only is the only country in the world, as far as I know, which has gone carbon negative. It's a very small country, right? So read about Bhutan. I mean, if I start giving you a lecture on Bhutan, it's going to go on and on forever. So I'll just stick myself to my core subject, because environment is a very big topic, and I have decided to focus on one portion of the environment, which is the waste management sector and the single-use plastic. So I'll just give you some models which you all can understand, so that you are clearer about as to how and what you all can do. You know, I'm an individual, I am an eye surgeon by profession. I have nothing to do with the environment sector. I had no qualification. Now I have a fellowship in Swachhata by Government of India, but I never had one when I was doing all these projects. So when I, as an individual, as somebody who was not from the sector, I'm standing right here in front of you winning so many awards which have not been my aim, but they were all something which just came across when I was working at my pace. So when I could do it, each one of you could do it too. And you can't separate this part from your career, from your goals. This has to be integrated together. So I'll give you an example. In around 2017, right? In 2017, we had a meeting with the Municipal Corporation of Delhi. Delhi generates 11.5 tons of garbage every single day. So multiply it by 1,000, so that's the number of kgs Delhi is generating. So I wasn't aware of the fact. I took upon as the secretary of a small colony called Makhija, and I had a meeting with the Deputy Commissioner there then, who said that waste management, there is a mandate on it, and if we do not segregate or manage our waste at the colony level, not just the individual residents but also we as RWAs will get penalized for 10,000 rupees a month. So I was like very taken back. I said, number one, it's an offence committed by my resident. How can you penalize me for the same? So they gave me some 80-90 pages gazette which had all the rules, which was impossible for me to understand everything. But I made a gist out of it, and what I could understand was that managing waste not just at a community or a colony level, but at a household level is also a mandate. It's a mandate, it's a rule. So not many of you are aware. I'm sure there will be a minuscule population who would know this. So that is when I said, yeah. So then that was when I thought, and I sat back and I reflected upon the reasons which I'm asking you as to what made the developing country so different from the developed world. And I realized sanitation as also into various categories and started linking up with the recyclers so that it could go directly to the recyclers. And for the last 4 years, we've not contributed even a single bit towards landfill site. So we've saved about 5 lakh kilogram of garbage from going to the landfill sites. Now the ones who feel that this is the government's job need to understand it's a mandate, number one. It's a government, it's by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, it is a mandate. The ones who are probably not too attentive to the session also need to understand that tomorrow when you apply to the colleges and for the jobs eventually, this is going to be something which is going to add to your profile. And going one step ahead, you know, we as a part of policy makers are trying to push this not as adding on to the profile, but a mandate for you to do this before you get a job or you get into the colleges. So you will see that day very soon when, unless and until you have an in-depth knowledge of these topics and you've not done your actions, are not in sync with environment, you will not even get admissions in school, forget about colleges. That day is going to come very soon. Then we established a crockery ban and we've saved about 40,000 disposables over the last 4 years. We separate our fabric waste, e-waste, plastic waste, paper waste, glass and metal and send it to the recyclers. We have something called a khata. Have you seen those big dhalaos in your neighborhood where everyone goes and dumps the garbage and then there's a whole pile of garbage? You must be crossing it on. That's called a khata or a dhalao. So we had one inside the colony from where the garbage was picked up every 15 days. And now it has been closed because there is no garbage. There is no garbage in our colony. It's all converted into a resource. And we have 9 rainwater harvesting pits. Next please. So that is exactly what I told you. We separate our waste. We have crockery ban. We have rainwater harvesting pit. Those are our compost pit. That's the Dalao picture. Now if you see, we've converted this into almost a welfare center for the garbage collectors. See the amount of transformation you alone are capable of doing. But we don't do it because it's not in our priority list. But again, let me tell you, it's not going to be an option for long. It will become a mandate and you will have to have. Today what we are talking will make sense to you maybe 2 or 3 years later when you will be applying for jobs of a higher study. So you need to have all of this understanding now. The ones who understand it and push it up in their priority list will be the ones who will be benefited. And let me tell you, outside India, in countries like US and UK, I've visited all of these countries, Singapore, you know, you talk of the developed world, I think I've visited over 20 countries till date. Let me assure you, when you go and you end up there, you feel so lost because you have absolutely no knowledge of all these things. I just visited Goa for a study visit on waste management, and Goa alone has colonies which are segregating the waste into 16 different categories. And in UK, when I'm staying with my sister-in-law stays in UK, I was there for almost a month. They have bins, separate bins for separate. And by mistake, if you put yahan ka cheese in the other bin, it's not that they don't pick up. They will penalize you. And the fines are not like India, 200 rupees diya and that's it. The fines are very hefty abroad. So, you know, there is no option. I'll tell you why. Nobody likes putting fines. But are we doing it out of choice? We're not doing it out of choice. So there has to be some kind of a system in place whereby people who are not wanting to do it are also doing at least the basic. I don't want you to be an environmentalist or an environmental activist, but the basics, at least it's our responsibility to be doing. Next slide please. So how did we, this is the broad process as to how we achieved it. Broadcast of information, correct and authentic, door-to-door awareness, training programs, construction of compost pit, engaging. The manner in which I am engaging you all is also the manner in which I engage all the stakeholders like college students, market traders, resident welfare. That is how I engage my own residents also. And sensitizing the children. When it starts early, it lasts lifelong. And as I said, the domestic helps were very difficult to tackle because we as literate people, we still can understand, reflect, we have the privileges to take it up on priority. They don't. They have enough problems on their hands to tackle. So this is the last on their priority list. So what we do, we linked it up with some kind of an incentive scheme. We gave them sanitary napkins free of cost, and we have been doing that for the last 4 years. And when they come to us for the supply every month, we talk to them about only 3 things. No littering, no spitting, segregating your waste, and say no to single-use plastic. And it's all in place. And my colony is automatically clean. So it has to be, as I said, you have to strategize. You are in a business school, so nobody better than you can understand what strategizing means. Yeah. Then we had a senior citizen again, you know, not because we had it because of this, we already had a senior citizen program whereby, as I was talking to you about social security. So I realized that you know, tomorrow my parents could be old enough and I'm not going to be close to my parents. So I mean, similarly you will be moving out tomorrow, your parents might not be able to move out with you. What do you do? Who's going to support them? So we in our colony created a support system whereby we have each senior citizen who stays alone associated to one volunteer who calls them twice a week, who visits them whenever required, who helps them with their bill payment, who also helps them with their medical visits, whatever they need. So we had this system before COVID, so you can imagine how easy was it for us during the COVID, when COVID set in and nobody could leave and it just crashed on your heads, and we had about 26 senior citizens staying alone, but only because of this program we were saved. So again, reiterating the same point, putting the systems in place. So we had a system in place. So once the system is in place, system takes care of everything. It should not be individual driven. And that is why tomorrow when you apply for companies like Google or Twitter or Microsoft, you see their CEOs have changed. Has the company been impacted badly? How many have? Why? Only because their systems are perfect. So once the systems are perfect, and that is precisely what we need to do in India, and we also need to help others also achieve the same outside, right? And let me tell you, India is really good at setting up the system. It's just that we are not setting up the right system, right? We have all the jugaad systems, we have all the bypasses, we have the biggest constitution in the world, right? So we are capable of putting the systems in place. It's just that we are not putting the right systems in place. That is what needs to be done. Monitoring and evaluation is the most important part of any project. Next slide, please. This is how we achieved it. Engaging the, can you see cartoon characters, senior citizens, children going up. So it's like a festival for us. So that is what I'm telling you. It's not going to happen unless and until you engage the community. I'm not a technical person at environment. I'm a community engagement expert, and that is what I'm going to talk about. That is only the thing which I'm good at. And believe me, all the studies. Take example, if you watch Chota Thousand, have you heard of Ramveer Tanwar, the pond man of India? Anybody? He's rejuvenating the ponds. He's an engineer by profession. He's left everything, and he's a total dehati Yeah, so I was sharing one of the sessions. I was a speaker, he was also a speaker, and he shared something really beautiful. He said, एक डंपयार्ड दिखाया मुझे, वहाँ पूरा कचरा पड़ा था. He showed the pictures and he said, वहाँ दिखाया मुझे कि वो डंपयार्ड पड़ा है. वो मुझसे पूछा कैसे हटाएं, तो मैंने कहा मैं तो तालाब ही बनाता हूँ, मैं तो यही कहूँगा तालाब बना दो. तो उनको वो बात समझ में नहीं आई. And it was so beautifully explained. I said उनको वो समझ में नहीं आई. उन्होंने वो एक यूनिवर्सिटी को उस प्रोजेक्ट को स्टडी करने के लिए दे दिया. उस पर थीसिस हुई, 6 महीने थीसिस चली. थीसिस चल के 40 लाख रुपए उस थीसिस पे खर्च हो गए. और थीसिस 40 पेज की जब नीचे मेरे पास आई तो लास्ट लाइन थी तालाब बना दो. सो now you see ये एजुकेशन जो आज हम ले रहे हैं, वो करियर जो आप परस्यू कर रहे हैं, वो गोल्स जो वो करना चाह रहे हैं, are of no use absolutely if you have to drink the same water, if you have to take in the same polluted air, if you can't really manage your garbage at home. What is this education about? I'm a doctor. I've given up practice only for this reason. When my basics are not clear and I cannot help people in making their basics clear, then this education is absolutely of no use to me. A garbage collector is a better person, a better human being, who is picking up your garbage, who is handling all of your dirt, all the sanitary napkins, all the diapers which go into his bucket along with the recyclable waste. He is a better human being than any of us, a better person than any of us who is handling our dirt. And what are we doing? We are creating dirt for him to handle. Sit back and think about it. Any amount of education, any amount of money, any amount of career goals cannot compensate for that kind of work, because you will not be able to do what he is doing today. Will you be able to do that? I give you, I could offer you anything for this. But tell me, how many of you would leave your career and goals to do what he is doing today? So who's a bigger person? Shouldn't we be self-reliant? Shouldn't we have this much of sensitivity towards our own system, and this at the end of the day is going to come back to you. It's going to make your life better. We will go off a very small colony, educated residents, strong RWA. Okay, we have educated class in the RWA. It is not the oldies RWA जो हम सोचते हैं जब रिटायर होंगे तब सोसाइटी के लिए काम करेंगे, वो टाइम आएगा नहीं, सोसाइटी बचेगी ही नहीं तब। Majority of the residents as members of RWA, a very dynamic executive committee from various fields with chartered accountants, doctors, lawyers in it. So these were the people who actually chose to work towards a better society, towards a better environment. And that is why we have a better colony. And that is why now this colony is working with the municipal corporation to make such more better colonies, so that the city becomes better, so that the lives of each one of you become better. I am not here to preach about myself or my things. I am just trying to convince you that if you all start participating in such activities and become equal stakeholders and wake up to the call, your life will improve. Otherwise, it's pretty tough. Support from NGOs in situ composting we started. Next slide, please. So this is about Project Vikalp, very short, we don't need to go through the slides. Project Vikalp, I was doing a project, I picked up a project as a task force member for Municipal Corporation of Delhi for the entire Delhi city. I helped them manage plastic waste. So we took Mehrauli Mandi as a project. Now this is a very interesting project. Why do people don't switch to cloth bags, right? I mean, we keep talking about cloth bags, but people don't switch to cloth bags. Why? So we studied this Mandi for a month. We were there daily for a month, and we came out with some reasons from the consumer end. मैं तो घर से आ नहीं रहा था, बैग तो घर पे है, मैं तो ऑफिस से आ रहा था, so I didn't have a bag, so I have to take something, so I took the poly bag. I have 5 poly bags at home, and I don't wish to buy another one, so I will use a poly bag. I'm buying stuff only worth ₹20, so I can't spend another 20 on a cloth bag, right? So the reasons were quite reasonable, because now we have an easy, inexpensive option available, so why do we need to switch to cloth bag, which is more expensive? So then, and from the shopkeeper side, अगर मैं नहीं दूँगा poly bag तो साथ ही shop वाला दे देगा, तो क्या करें? So that is when Vikalp came in. This was a project whereby we placed a cloth bag counter in the mandi itself, and we engaged self-help group women कि आप आइए बनाइए यहाँ बेचिए. तो जब हम होते थे तब तो 100 बैग उसके बेचारे के निकलते थे. जिस दिन हम नहीं होते थे दो भी नहीं निकलते थे. So a person who's left her house and come to the market to sell the bags goes back home only with 20 rupees, 40 rupees. It's not worth it. So then we had to change the strategy again. So we decided, we launched Vikalp. Now Vikalp is a project which is, this is one project which doesn't have any gap at all. Now you understand, what we created, we converted the existing shops into Vikalp stores with the help of Municipal Corporation of Delhi. If you are selling 10 different things, you might as well have an option of cloth bag also there, alright? So we place the bag, so we don't need the space, we don't need extra manpower there. We use the existing facilities, we place the bags there, and the shopkeeper and his boys are offering the bag to the customer. Now the customer says, I don't wish to buy one, you can't force me to buy one. Okay, fine, great, don't buy. We said, okay, borrow the bag, deposit 20 rupees, borrow the bag. Come back tomorrow and return the bag and take your refund. Now what? मैं कल तो यहाँ रहता नहीं हूँ, मैं तो उस मार्केट से आया. Then we went one step ahead. we devised a QR code which goes on all the bags. And now we have about 400 existing such stores. So when you take the bag home and scan the QR code, you reach to the list of all the 400 stores. Okay, fine, you're going to Green Park tomorrow. Look for Green Park, return the bag there. Now the consumers do not have any excuse. So these were all excuses. I have 1 lakh bags in circulation now, but nothing has come back to me. Nothing. So it was just tackling the mindset. It was nothing else. We all are in a habit of making excuses. But if we just reverse that and we change our mindset to be more receptive, to change, to be more acceptance of towards steps which are better for people around us, for environment around us, I think change would start there and then. So this Vikal project has got great visibility. It's got so many awards. I've received call from US, Germany, UK, France and all these countries to understand this project, because this is one closed project. It doesn't have even a single loophole. Now what happens in case the bags start coming back? We pick it up, we wash it, clean it, add it to the free distribution supply and compensate by giving fresh bags. And the fresh bags that we given, the cost of the same is incorporated in this same cost of 20 rupees. So it is self-sustaining. I did not need any CSR funds or donation for this. I did this project. Of course, it's not a revenue model, it's a social impact model. But this could be converted into a great revenue model as well. Because every person is a stakeholder would require a bag at the end of the day. See the amount and see how much do you need to invest. Make it 30 rupees. You want great profits out of it. So it's all about, as I said, prioritizing, analyzing, strategizing, planning, executing and monitoring. And again the cycle repeats, because the gaps were closed when I started repeating this cycle again and again and again. And today we have this project which the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi has declared that every market in Delhi has to have one vehicle store at least. So it's all here. Now if I think I'm only a doctor and I should not focus on anything else, I will stick only to my shell of practicing medicine. But I'm capable of doing much more. And each one of you is capable. You know what is the difference between ordinary and extraordinary? You know, it's very simple. Extra. Just that extra. Okay? And another bold statement I'll give you. We all are born extraordinary. Unless we choose to be ordinary. Right? Is there anyone who doesn't agree with me? All. There is no exception. Even the people who are differently able are so sharp. I met one lady the other day, you won't believe it, she had something which was gifted by God. She has her own startup, she's so successful. She's one of the biggest entrepreneurs in India. So it's only when you choose to be ordinary are you ordinary. Next, can you move the slides please? There's one last couple of things. Next, keep moving. So these were the problems. Fast, please. So that's the project. So these were the awards. Come back again to that slide. So that's the Environment Minister of Norway with me. He visited my colony and he was with me for 2 hours with 20 other delegates from Norway. And believe me, when I say, I'm witness to this. And he, without any police protection, he walks with me, with this entire delegation, to the nearest metro station, takes the metro and goes to the embassy. This is the difference between the developing country and the developing country. And 2 hours he spent, and in India, it was only one colony which he visited was ours. Next slide please. No newspaper national newspaper which hasn't covered any of these images. There is none. All small to big, all the newspaper, even the regional ones have covered. Next please. Yes. that's the line. The best time to do it is now, and the only way to do it is together. And one last thing which I'll leave you all with, you all don't need solutions. None of us need solutions. We are the solution. We are the solution. So be a solution not just for yourself, be a solution for others also. And it's so simple, so doable. Just start thinking out of the box. Don't restrict yourself only to your career, only to your education, only to your goals. There's something beyond I, me and myself, and COVID has proven this. It has clearly that we all are interlinked. Even the flora and the fauna, everything is interlinked. So that is what environment is. And as I said, I'm not a technical person, so go back home, leave the rest of the technical aspects from Google, please. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for this inspiring session. Now I would like to invite Professor Vinay Mehta sir to please honor our guest Dr. Ruby Makhija ma'am by giving momentum.
My sincere thanks to each and every one of you for making this event successful. I would also like to extend my gratitude to our resource person, Dr. Ruby Makhija ma'am, for sharing her expertise and passion with us. Ma'am, your contribution has enriched our event and provided valuable insights to our students. My special thanks to the IT support and hospitality support, the admin team, and the anchor of the event, Shivani. Your support has made it possible to organize this particular event. I extend my thanks to Director Sir also and Vinay Mehta Sir also for gracing the occasion by coming here. And at last, I would extend my thanks to all the audiences who are sitting here. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for being here. It is definitely going to help you all becoming standardized towards environmental issues and how to manage their behavior in the society. Thank you. I request everyone to kindly fill out the respective attendance sheets and the feedback form. Thank you.